Yo, what's up everybody, this is Godma. In my previous games, I forgot to mention that Blizzard did announce that they're closing the beta 2 weeks from now, so I think the date they gave was May 31st. As of May 31st, the beta is going to close while they do some last minute fixes to Starcraft 2, I think specifically they're changing like the engine and just some programming and whatnot. Important junk like that. Yeah, they're going to close the beta around May 31st, and then they're going to reopen it again. I think they said 2 weeks prior to the release date, which is July 27. That being said, I'm trying to get as many games out to you folks as possible before they do close off that beta. Right now, this is Kulas Ravine. It's a very large map for a 1 vs 1 game. I'm controlling the blue Protoss here on the northern location. Ryan is controlling the red Terran. He's scouting pretty nicely with his SCV. Likewise, I have a probe locked to him to make sure he doesn't place anything funny in my base. Ryan actually getting his barracks before his supply depot and not walling off either. I should mention also that I think this was a placement match. If not, it's Copper League. Yeah, just for the record, I haven't made it to the Bronze League just yet. I think the last game I did was Copper, and I don't know, I'm probably like 40th or 50th in my division or something like that. It can be confusing, especially trying to remember what position I was in according to the replay file in Starcraft 2, the replay folder I should say. Anyway, yeah, I doubt I'll make it to the Bronze League before the beta closes. So if you are seeing a game that isn't a custom game in my channel, it's either a placement match or a Copper League match. So firstly, I should say that Ryan is showing a symptom of the other Terran player that I cast before this. His name was Caps, and what Caps did is similar to this in that his build order was pretty strange. He's getting more supply than he needs right off the bat, and he doesn't have the gas in time to get that tech lab on his barracks. So, similar to Caps, Ryan is struggling with his build order, and he's struggling in the early game, and he's struggling for a third time to spend his minerals where he needs them. He's now operating fully off of one refinery, thankfully for him at least. I'm not operating off of any gas just yet, which is strange because I have a cybernetics core. Looks like I should eat my words a little bit because I don't have the gas that I need to get those warp gates queued up. Decent use of a scouting SCV here, watching over my front door, making sure I'm not coming out with any zealots. There is a Reaper coming in from Ryan, so at least he knows to harass with that Reaper. I should be okay, provided I can get this gas. I have transferred 3 probes to it. A second assimilator is up and running. I need to transfer some probes to that one. Chrono boosting is zealot. That's not what I need to do right now. I need to I need to queue up a stalker to try to ensure that this Reaper doesn't do anything funny. The Reaper is actually rallied away from my probe, so it could be that he wants to disguise this Reaper. He's also not sending it towards my base, which is good news for the Protoss player and bad news for Ryan. Ryan has actually queued up 2 additional Reapers, got that really early engineering base, so it seems, like, no offense to anybody, I never mean offense. It would be dumb to, preach hate over YouTube, but mediocre Terran players are all similar in that they get their engineering bay way earlier than they need to. They get too much supply right off the bat, and they don't manage their first barracks well at all. So just something to note. These things are very indicative of mediocre Terran players. So watch out for them, and do that research, do that homework necessary to know how and when to capitalize on these mediocre players. I'm getting a forge, which suggests that I am going to do some ground dedication. I have this zealot and a couple stalkers here placed in this location, finally getting them together and moving them out. Yeah, actually I think just because I have this probe here and I don't see any units watching over this front door, ooh, actually this could be bad. I'm going to have both of my stalkers out of position while these Reapers potentially fly to my base. Choosing to DPS down these rocks, which could be a good decision, especially considering that I'm going to see these Reapers before they can get into my base. Hopefully I got a glimpse of these units. Reaper's now trying to attack my Stalkers. I'm not gonna let that fly. That's not a fight the Reapers want to be in. I still have this probe here. Yeah, I should be thinking, which is true at this point, I should be thinking that the only army influence that Ryan has is those Reapers, and he does have a Marauder now that just came out, so I could, again, this is one of those games where Rapt could have taken the game a lot earlier if simply he had known to push when he needed to. Instead, I am pulling more of an Hydra here, and I'm getting a early Nexus, or an early expansion, not too early, dropping that at about 43 food. Finally, the warp gates are coming out. So, questionable Protoss play, but decent Protoss play nonetheless. I can't help but recall those games with Pikachu that I cast, and you can certainly compare my Protoss play to his. I think he's back up in the Platinum League now, so, you know, whereas myself, you can see how I'm acting right now. Pikachu is just very methodical, very calculated in all his actions, and furthermore, he just knows what buildings to build and at what time. So build order is very important to the Protoss race. I was just going to say I need my Observer out, so thankfully I do have that robotics facility incoming. Warping in no Stalkers, no upgrades on them just yet, which is, yeah, I've almost completed +1 weapons. 3 Reapers here still sitting at this location, and I think I am once again giving Ryan a little more credit than he deserves. He is making a decent tech switch. Actually, these Marauders are going to be doing bonus damage to my Stalkers. They're pretty hard counter to Stalkers. And also, if he can get these siege tanks with siege tech up and running, my heavy Stalker army will be in a lot of trouble. What I need to do is I need to create an Observer, which I have not done. That's an error. Although I am spending my minerals on something. I queued up a couple probes here. I dropped another gateway and a photon cannon here at this key position. These Reapers are very slowly inching their way towards my base, so what started off as a potential, obligatory Reaper harass is now becoming more of a stealth mission. But I mean, hey, even if I know Ryan is displaying signs of weakness in this early game, if I can let this second expansion kick in, I should be in a good position. Yeah, Ryan there finally switching to the probes, pulling away those probes. These Reapers actually going too close, straying too close to that cannon. One Reaper going down to that photon blast. These Reapers are going to escape. Finally, some decent micros. They have a total of 4 kills. It's possible that the Reaper that he lost might have gotten a kill in as well. There's my first Immortal.